Hey there, thanks for signing in. Welcome to the Picnic Table Ant Chat. We start in half an hour after a bit of feeding in the multi-species tank. See you there. Hey there guys and girls, only 15 minutes left of this feeding before the interview starts. See you there. go. Hello there, everybody. Welcome to the Picnic Table Ant Chat. I am your host, Tom, and with me today I have the host of Formicast Podcast. If you want to introduce yourself, buddy.
What's up, guys? This is Formicast Podcast.
And how are you doing today? You all right?
Doing wonderful. I just finished eating my Mediterranean salad. It was delicious. While I got to listen to that awesome music, that pretty chill music, and watching your ants devour that. What was it, a cockroach?
Yeah, there was 3 dubia roaches in there.
Nice.
Yeah, they smash them down. Right. So today we've obviously got a few questions for you. I'm sure we'll get a few more from the people in the chat as well. Welcome everyone in chat. We've got lots of people here at the moment. So just go quickly say hello to a few. We've got Ants England. We've got Shane. Going up, Dino. Ant Ramblings. Just about everybody. Sorry if I haven't said your name. I'm not going to go all the way through. But welcome everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. And let's begin the interview. So, what got you into ants, and how long ago was it?
I would say about a year ago. So probably around August 2020, I was playing a game with my friend Chaz, which you guys probably heard about him on the show. We were playing a game called Grounded, where you're basically shrunk down to like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids style.
Right,
and so you play. So we're playing this game called Grounded, which some of you probably play it or have played it. And we're playing this game, and one day after we got lunch, we're standing outside and, looking at the lawn, and I'm just like, oh, there's life down there. So that led to me going to YouTube and checking out different videos, and, I was watching this mantle wasp or something on a leaf, and I was watching that video, and that led to me watching Ants Canada, which led to me being interested, and was like, okay, well, if Ants Canada can keep ants, I can keep ants. It shouldn't be too hard. And at the time, I was doing a podcast with my buddy Sulior on Nintendo. And I was like, okay, well, I'm doing that. I can do a podcast on ant keeping. So I started listening to, I was watching other videos. I started watching Ants Manitoba and some other people. And it was like, okay, well, there's YouTube videos, there's YouTubers, but there isn't podcasters. There was one, but it was on this one kid. He was doing 3-minute videos. And that was it. And it was just like, oh, I'm going to tell you a little bit of a specific ant, and that's it. And I'm like, okay, well, how do I keep them,
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So I went onto the Formal Culture website and was like, okay, guys, is this something you guys want? Like a podcast on ant keeping and how to keep ants. And slowly it grew into an actual podcast where, I would interview other people. I had you on there as well, Ants on the Rock. That was amazing. Which, long story short, we actually had mutual friends with Dan from the Hive. And so August 2020 is when I started getting into the hobby. And then Labor Day, I released 3 episodes. So I released one talking about the Labor Day ant, Lasius neoniger. And then I did one with Ants Manitoba, where we talked about Camponotus and, his my best attempts of pronunciation of ant species, which, as you can tell, I was still struggling like everyone else.
I'm not great at it myself, so don't worry about that.
And then I did one on spider ants, and then Kale Wizard, which is one of my mods or admins on the Discord. He came up with the name, so I gave him credit for that. So that's how I got into it. Went from playing a video game to watching Ants Canada to starting a podcast, and now here I am on another show. So yay!
Here you are.
Here I am.
Do you plan to do any ant videos, or are you just going to stick it to podcasts?
That's been asked of me quite a bit, and my stance has been I'll stick to the audio waves while you guys stick to YouTube. Which it seems like a lot of you guys have went from YouTube into podcasting as well. So, I might as well start to, figure that out and start to, show my ants and show what I've been doing. And, I've been thinking about it, but I don't know where to start. Right now, I'm currently kind of tight on money, so I can't just go and buy all the equipment. But I would like to. I was thinking of doing vlogs and possibly just doing close-ups and show my ants and kind of put them in front of the camera. But as you can tell, this
Yeah.
camera isn't that great. That's probably why my face is all blurry. But
That's all right.
yeah.
That's all right. Okay, that's fine. So I'm just going through. So what ants do you keep yourself?
Okay, so I only keep 4 species right now because of the move. I will explain that as we get further into the interview. But I keep, of course, my I don't have a Chromatogaster anymore, so I have Lasius neoniger. I have my harvester ants that, of course, have been great since I got them. I have a Camponatus discolor that I got from Tarl Ants, and then I have my Formica, one of my Formica queens that she has currently one worker.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would just keep 4 at the moment when it comes to ants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, that's fair. Did you want to explain about the move?
Yeah, so as I talked about during the end of season 2 of Formicast, I moved to the apartment that I'm currently in. I can't really show you guys with my camera, but I could definitely do something on Instagram or something showing you guys the apartment. But as I was prepping to move, a lot of my queens were either dead because of me completely like waist deep in work and the panic and stress of packing everything. So a lot of my queens either died because of the move or because I either let them go before the winter hit or that other reason. So I decided to keep only 4, which thank God they're still alive. Other than that,
Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, so do you have any dream species that you want to keep?
So I did write something about my dream species. So currently, I do not have any dream species because at times it changes what species I would like to keep. I would like to say I have limited amount of ants that I do keep, like I said earlier. But looking back at all the species that I've done episodes on, I think spider ants would be pretty cool if I could keep spider ants, but I can't because exotic and the laws here in the U.S. which sucks.
Yeah.
But if I could keep any specific ant right now, if I could choose anything, I'd probably say spider ants because I just think they're cool.
That's fair. That's fair. Can you explain to us a little bit about the laws where you are?
Well, here in the United States, if it's not local, you can't keep it. I've summed up to that.
Okay.
So exotic ants, unless you have a permit to keep them, you can't keep them.
Yeah.
So I try to avoid that.
That's fair.
Not saying I disagree with keeping, exotic if you have the permits for it, but I do not keep exotic ants.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Where do you buy your ant stuff from, like your equipment?
All right, so I get most of my stuff from either Tar Heel Ants or Porter-More. One of those two is where I mainly get my stuff. Which I have this shirt, by the way. I'm selling Stein. Oops, you can see it very well. Ant keeping is not my hobby; it's my calling. So yeah, I get most of my stuff from those two outlets.
I like that.
So shout out to both of them.
No, I like that. I like that. Okay. I haven't actually tried either of them yet. I've got a Tar Heel nest on its way, mini her, so I'm going to give that a go with my honey pots.
Nice.
My European honey pots. Yeah, that should be good. They're doing all right, but they definitely need something different. They like to hang, so I thought I'd give it a go. But I got to wait for it to get. I looked today; it's currently in Miami.
Yeah.
So quite a while yet.
Because he lives in North Carolina and Florida. How is it? Anyway.
Yeah, it's in Miami, and I think it's going to fly across the Atlantic soon. I don't know, but that'll be interesting. And we've got an interview with Paul Moore next Sunday, actually, so that'll be really good. That one.
Yeah. Shout out to Paul Moore. I love those guys.
There we go. They are on my Discord as well. If anyone isn't on my Discord yet, join my Discord because it's well worth it. the links will be posted by the moderators.
Huh?
So, do you have any other pets or hobbies?
Yes, actually, I do have another pet, and if you guys have seen my social media, her name is Sasha, and she's a cat. Hold on, let me grab her. She's right here.
Yeah.
Sasha, come here. Come here. Oh, that's a good girl. Say hi, folks. This is Sasha. She's my Russian blue.
Hello, Sasha.
Right, that's it. No hi.
Oh, Russian blue. So they're quite a cool like type of cat, aren't they?
Yep. So she's straight, short hair.
I don't know a lot about cats, but I know they're quite a cool type of cat.
Yeah, she's like, you just woke me up from a nap. What the heck's wrong with you? You want to go back to your nap? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, beautiful.
But yeah, I keep her. Yeah. So yeah. So other than that, I like to play video games. Except for I'm taking a bit of a break
Very nice.
from playing some games. Being outside when it's warm, I like to fish
Yeah.
a lot. So you'll probably see me posting pictures of fish that I catch. And then hanging out with friends, and of course when it's warm, going hunting.
Yeah.
Well, I can't go around my apartment complex because they don't.
Yes, I do see
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So I can't really catch queens over here at the apartment because they do pest control and they spray everything. So
They don't understand it.
yeah, they don't understand it. I keep that on the download though.
Oh no.
So yeah.
Oh no. Oh, that's a shame.
But that's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I take test tubes about on me, and people at the gym look at me like, "What are you doing on the floor?"
Yeah.
Oh, I saw an ant.
Yeah, people think we're
Gotta
nuts.
be done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I went to go get Chinese
Yeah.
food with my buddy Chaz, and we saw formicas flying, right? So it was their time and nuptial flights.
Yeah.
And I had nothing to put them in except for like a used Gatorade bottle and like an empty McDonald's cup. And we're like running around on the pavement
Yeah.
trying to catch them, and people are walking by like, "What are they doing?" And Chaz and I are just like,
Yeah.
don't look at us. We're just catching queens."
Just doing stuff. Yeah, we're just normal guys catching ants. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you explain whereabouts in America do you live? What's the environment like? Because obviously it's such a huge range of environments.
Right. So I live in Michigan, which is the state that looks like a mitten. There's lakes all around it. And right now we have snow on the ground. It's winter.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we have snow. It's cold. It's probably about 25 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what Celsius would be. But it is cold. It's cold.
Yeah.
So yeah, during this time, I like to spend time inside, usually playing video games or watching movies and stuff like that. So, which this is a nice little head start to season 3, so I get to prep the show. So
yeah. So have you got anything planned for the show in season 3? Have you got any sneak previews you can let us in with?
So I'm planning on finishing Ant Quest, but instead of just doing it by myself or with JB if he ever shows up, to bring on people that live in those areas and actually talk about the ants in those areas. So we have a ant quest for Europe and we have an ant quest for Asia. So if you are listening or watching this and you want to join in, that's what we're going to do. So episode 1 and episode 2 of season 3 will be an ant quest. So yeah, Ants in the Rock, you're invited.
Sounds good. Brilliant. All right, that sounds really good. Well, make sure you send me a link and I'll post that everywhere as well.
Will do.
Yeah, brilliant. Have you got any ant species you don't like or you definitely will not be keeping?
That's a good question. I would probably say none. If I could keep a species of ants that I'm allowed to keep, I'll keep them. Only if I have the reasonable means to keeping them, right?
Yeah. So not like I like Solenopsis, but I definitely would never keep Solenopsis just because they're like they're more stressed than fun is the conclusion I've come to actually.
Right. When it comes to means of keeping them, I do agree with you. I think Solenopsis is definitely a species.
I suppose, like you say, if you've got the means to keep them, then keep them.
Right. So yeah, Solenopsis is definitely one I will not keep. I saw that video of JB that he put on his YouTube, and I saw that. I was like, yeah, no. Boy.
Yeah, exactly. And then Ants Hood as well. Like watching them both, it's like really put me off because at one point I came really close, but I decided to get something else instead.
Yeah, I would probably get kicked out of my apartment if the apartment complex found out I was keeping firearms.
Yeah, there you go. How do you feel about gel farms?
I hate them. I have a video of me blowing one up with fireworks.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that. I saw the question come up and I thought, oh, that's gonna be a cracker. Yeah, they're awful, aren't they? Really awful.
They're really bad for them, for sure.
Yeah. And the problem is they're still being sold in vast quantities as well, and like people just don't understand that it's not good for them.
Yeah, I made a petition on one of those websites, and yeah, you can still sign it. I think I'm not sure, but I put one up. So
yeah. I think I either signed yours or JB's or Pope's. I believe both of yours, or I don't know. But yes, I saw that. We've got a question here from Roger. What do you think about zombie ants?
Oh, but I think about zombie ants. Well, I did an episode on zombie ants actually, first season, and it's fascinating that a parasite will take over the ant's body, and then they'll just like blossom into this weird looking.
I'm just gonna click that.
They are definitely interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah. What are zombie ants?
Yeah, I get you. Okay. Broadcasting, what opinion? In your opinion, what is the best nest of them all?
Well, I really like Tar Heel Ants. His mini hearth is a good setup, especially for a beginner.
So I think I'm just struggling to get my computer to go. It's just being super slow right now.
Oh, hold on.
There we go.
Got it. Yeah, so mini hearth is a good start, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I have like 4 of them. And then Former Art has good nests as well.
Right.
But those are.
So I'm just gonna have a quick 30-second interval because I think my internet's just packing up.
Yeah, we're pretty blurry.
I will be back in 1 second, buddy. I'm just trying to sort my stream out because it's so slow.
Yeah. It's also just showing me on camera.
All right, 1 second. We're getting there. Right, I'm just going to put a 30-second. Go put a 30-second counter on just for a second. Hold on.
And we're back. Sort of. Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
There we go. Right, I'm back on now. I'm just setting up the other camera. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry about that, everyone. Whilst I'm doing this, do you want to answer?
Yeah, actually, let me answer one of the questions that.
Yeah, so we were getting a few come through.
Okay, I got a couple here still. There's one that I have earlier that I kind of skipped over. So when I started Formicast, I kind of have a different perspective when it comes to. I was talking to Stein about this actually earlier, and there's something I wanted to share. So a lot of you guys know that I am a Christian. I'm not sure if everyone knows that or not, but I take a perspective of an ethical and a faith-based perspective on keeping ants. And I've probably mentioned this before, but one of my episodes I mentioned in Proverbs 30:25, it says that go to the ant, no sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. At times, like we look at ants and we think, okay, well, how are they living their lives? How can we learn from them? And I think that's why we have myrmecologists that study them, of course. But if you just think about it, there's 10,000 different species of ants in the world. They're able to lift 20 times their own body weight, which means a man weighs about 200 pounds, has the same strength of an ant. He could lift approximately 4,000 pounds. Ants can be found to build structures 500 times their own height. Also, ants have two stomachs, one for storing up food, others for storing later, and one for itself. It's so nice of them to be so thoughtful. Unfortunately, their life expectancy is only 45 to 60 days. So if you think about it, they're also not lazy. Like if you go with your lawnmower, or if you like put water down their nest or destroy their nest,
Yeah.
you go back like literally an hour later and it's back to normal. You're like, what the heck, you know? So, and of course they're not quitters. They never quit. They keep preparing themselves. They're not procrastinators. For the winter, they store up food, right?
Yeah.
So we can learn so much from them. And from a faith perspective, it's amazing to see what God could do with creatures like these and how we can learn from them in such a way. So one of the questions I saw was what I thought about Formica rufa and how they, in winter, how they use vegetation for their nests to let them decompose and create heat. Like, that's just mind-boggling to think that a creature as tiny as an ant and as smart as an ant could take plants and bring it down into the bottom of their nest, let them decompose, and then create heat for the winter. Like, it's just amazing to think about it. And it blows my mind that ants could do something like that, you know?
Yeah.
I do have a couple stories. I know that was one of the questions. Do you want me to tell those stories now, or do you want to wait?
That was actually the next question I was going to ask. Is do you have any good or bad stories you want to share?
Okay, so I have. Okay, I'll let you decide. Do you want the good story first or the bad story first?
Oh, we'll say good story first, and then we'll ruin it all with a bad story.
All right. So the good story. I'm cleaning one of my customers' bathrooms, and I'm in there and I'm spraying the whole thing down with chemical, and all of a sudden, as I'm about to like scrub the floor with a big brush, I look and I see a Formica queen walking across the floor, and I'm just like, what the heck? Like, I was having such a bad day that day, but seeing this Formica queen just walking across the bathroom floor soaked in chemical, I'm just like, wait a minute, how's she not dead? Like, normally if I see a bug that's like a spider or something else, yeah, I'll spray her with the chemical and kill her. But I was just like, wait, how did this ant not get seen when I started, in the first place? So yeah, I kept her, and she's actually one of the queens that is still alive. I kept her, so she wasn't able to die. So yay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and the bad story, I have a scar on my knee thanks to this one. I was up in up north last April, and I went on this week retreat with a bunch of guys up there, and we were hanging out. And one of our time we had for free time, I went out into the woods to look for ants. Right, so I'm up there, and I got my pooter, and I got some test tubes and other stuff, and I'm going through, and I find this little log about yay big, and I like took my knife out and hitting it and trying to crack it open, and I crack it open and I lift the top of the lid and I notice that there's ants in there. Well, I found a parasitic ant in there, and so I went and got her into a test tube. But as soon as I was about to, I took my knife and I went downwards and I went into my knee with the knife. So I got like a little scar right here on my kneecap where the knife went into. Yeah. So that's the bad story of me anting.
You stabbed yourself.
I stabbed myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
well, if you're going to stab yourself over anything, ants is definitely worth it.
Totally worth it. Yeah.
Totally worth it.
Yeah. The rest of the week, I was limping.
I bet you were stabbed in the leg.
Yeah. So I was limping, and everybody there were like, "You caught a queen ant in the woods?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I got to like share about ant keeping and the podcast, and the hobby in general. So it was fun.
Yeah. Advertisement. There you go. Stab your leg more often.
There you go, folks. For everyone else listening, just stab your leg and talk about it. There you go. I actually don't do that.
Well, yeah. I'm looking around me for a knife, but I won't do that. Right. Okay. We've got a question here. If you could keep Polyrhacus dives or Canberra diversa, which one would you pick?
Polyrhacus dives, probably because out of those two is the one I've seen more of.
Yeah. My polys are awesome. Although I do want Canberra diversa as well, just because they would be pretty awesome. But I've got a plan. I'm not going to ruin that yet.
I don't know if I can keep either of them here though in the US.
No, probably not, because they're both really from like Asia exotic. Yeah, I doubt you can over there, it is a shame. But I can completely understand why the laws are like that. Like America is, like I say, it's so big and so many different environments as well.
Right.
Like where you are, if the Polyrhacus dives or whatever got out, you'd probably be all right in winter. They'd probably die. In other places of America, they definitely wouldn't.
Right. Like my harvesters, I probably wouldn't be able to let them out, but I can keep them because they're legal. So. Yeah,
that's fair. I'm just going back through loads of questions here. If you could keep one ant species out of all the ant species in the world, doesn't have to be like a dream species, a special species, what would it be? And this means like you're only allowed to keep one ant colony.
Only one?
So you could get like something really exotic, but only one. You're only allowed one ant colony for the rest of your life.
That's a tough question.
It's a hard one, isn't it?
It's a hard one. My best keeping one would be my harvesters, but my favorite are Camponotus, because how big they are.
Okay.
So yeah, I would probably say the Camponotus novabaricunsis would probably be the ant. If I could keep only one species, it would be a Camponotus species, and probably that one specifically. So.
That's a fair point. They're one of the only species which actually grows at a decent rate.
Yeah.
Like I'm struggle so bad with Camponotus. Really do struggle with Campos. They're just so slow.
Yeah. Yeah, I caught a Camponotus novabaricunsis at work. So.
Yeah. How's that?
Friday after work.
Are they doing well?
It was one of them that passed away, sadly. The test tube. Right before hibernation, she passed away, which is sad. But it was at work. Yeah, so it was at work, and I was leaving the truck, and I was heading back to the building, and I just saw this queen just walking across the sidewalk.
Nice.
Like, well, luckily I had some on me, so.
Yeah, get on it if you got it. We've got a few comments here. I'm just going to put this one up. Have you seen these aluminium castings they do of anthills?
Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen people do them.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. Yeah. I think, I saw them and I thought if you turn it upside down, you've got a Christmas tree, ain't you?
Yeah, interesting. Especially
yeah, I would have that as a Christmas tree. I'd be.
Yeah. Especially see
yeah, exactly. It'd be very interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about it the other day, how I've probably said it plenty of times now, but the Polyrhacus dives, the weaver ants, the way they've sort of built their nest layer upon layer upon layer is like, I know it's just really interesting how they build their nests, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like the structure, the way they build it, and like, yeah, it's just really interesting. Yeah. It'd be great to like see the inside of the weaver nest, but I don't think they could do like a casting of it or anything.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the we do not approve movement at all?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a touchy subject, but
it is a bit
we do support it on the Answer the Rock channel. We do support it.
So yeah. I was asked.
Yeah, well, like I say, we support it all the way.
Yeah. So I do. So I was asked a question earlier about this on your Discord, and I have an opinion when it comes to the movement. Yes, I am for the movement, but I'm not going to try to take any shots at anyone because I have some opinions. But I do want to say you can't be for the movement if you're not all in for the movement. Meaning, when it comes to my side of things, living in the U.S., especially, there are people in the U.S. that sell ants illegally. To me, if you do that, you're not for the movement. And I've probably either people know what I'm talking about or not. But if you're for the movement, one, don't sell ants illegally here in the U.S. unless it's lawfully. If you have a permit, then do it. If you don't have a permit, do not do it. But yeah, that's my point of view on it. But yes, I do agree with the movement that one, we shouldn't be gel farms is definitely a no. Don't be doing that.
Yeah.
And everything else about the movement as well. But other than that, I do feel like illegal selling of ants should not be allowed. Other than that, that's what I believe in. So.
Yeah, that's really fair. That's really well explained as well. I mean, like I say, on this channel, we all support the movement. I'm pretty sure most of my viewers do. I'm fully with it. I don't do anything what I deem unethical to my ants. I always try and keep it as good as I can, you know.
Yeah.
Good ant keeper. So yeah, we support that all the way, and we're with you for that.
Yeah.
I got a question here somewhere. Here we go. When it comes up, Ants on the Rock. Which do you like more? I cannot pronounce that one. Basically, weaver ants, the true weaver ants, or my weaver ants, lesser weaver ants, Polyrhacus dives. I'm actually going to say I prefer the dives strictly because they're easier to care for. The true weaver ants can be really sensitive, really touchy, quite hard to get started, and they're just really difficult to keep because the sheer size of them. Where Polyrhacus dives, because they're slightly smaller ants, even when they get to the larger numbers, they don't require that same amount of space as the actual weaver ants. Plus, the actual weaver ants prefer to be higher up towards the canopy, whereas Polyrhacus dives prefer to be like on the lower ground bush areas. So like they're easier to keep and replicate their natural environment rather than trying to build a tree, if you know what I mean. So that's my view on that one. What do you prefer?
What do I prefer out of those two?
Yeah.
I'd probably say Polyrhacus dives as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a reason for that?
Probably the same thing of seeing more of them on when it comes to content. Sadly, I can't keep Weaver ants, but
Yeah.
sadly.
Yeah. I mean, it is a shame that you can't keep all these interesting species, but I say it's kind of understandable. You should move to England. We can keep pretty much anything.
Right. Yeah, I'll forfeit my American
Like,
citizenship. Move to England.
I mean, yeah. I mean, screw it. I don't even have to like tell the council or anything. Don't have to make anyone aware that like what you're keeping. It literally, they don't care.
Yeah, I think it comes when I think the reason it's so strict here is because we're so nitpicky about the environment, which I understand that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I do fish, and I don't want to have
Yeah.
invasive species and stuff like that. But I think it should be a little bit more lax. I think here in the U.S., we should be able to keep specific ants as well. I just do think you guys are lucky, very lucky. Don't take advantage of it either. Another big thing is being ethical on keeping them too. Don't just like, oh, I'm sick of ant keeping. I'm just gonna, let them die type of thing. You gotta, take care of them. We're given the responsibility to take care of these creatures that we keep. It's the same thing of keeping a dog or a cat.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
Definitely. Like ants are for life, not just for Christmas.
Yeah, not just for Christmas.
We've got another question here. Where do you sit on adding new queens to an already established colony that is polygamous?
Well, I don't have any experience when it comes to that. So I really don't know what to say to that.
That's fair. All right. My 5 cents on it is 5 cents. I did an American then. It would be very dependent on the ant species, because obviously some ant species are more accepting of queens. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I know there is a couple that you can add a queen into, and it can work. Like ghost ants and things like that, they'll accept queens normally of the same colony. I can't remember, but there is ways to do it. But normally I would avoid adding a queen to an established colony, because once the colony's established, they've got their own pheromone scent, and that queen's got a different pheromone scent, and it's normally not a good idea, even if they are polygamous, because even polygamous colonies, the queens will share the pheromones, because like they're all mixing this, you know what I mean? They rub off on each other. So like adding in a foreign object, like a whole different queen, it's probably not going to go well. I mean, I nearly did an experiment of merging 2 Myrmica colonies. This was like almost a year ago. I decided against it in the end because it would probably just be a massacre. But it was tempting because I knew that they can merge. You have to do it very carefully. Normally, it's like a 90% fail ratio, but it can be done. I think quite often people will like put them in the fridge, maybe even like do some other stuff to like slow them down and make them calmer, drug them maybe. I don't know, but I know it has been done, but it's not something I would do myself,
right,
or recommend doing. Yeah, what Kushi says, it often doesn't work with established colonies. Yeah. I mean, the best time if you're going to make a polygamous colony is to find loads of queens of the same type and just stick them in the test tube together in that founding stage. Once they get past that founding stage, like that's it really. You've got to stick with what you got.
Right.
So I'm just going back through the chat because I'm missing loads here.
Yeah, Wakushi says you can add a queen to a queenless colony. If they've been without a queen for a while.
I have heard that, but again, I wouldn't know how to do it because the pheromones and whatnot. I think again you'd need to chill them or stuff like that. If you've got any more knowledge on how that's done, feel free to post it just so we can have a little read. if they've been without a queen for some time. So maybe because that's the pheromones are starting to wear off and they're looking for a queen. I don't know. I like to think imaginatively. Maybe the ants are lonely and they're looking for a queen. Anyone got in danger? Right. Former cast, what are your thoughts on people keeping I don't know that type of ants, doorless ants and the army ants?
I can't speak today. Army ants. So yeah, I think I've done an episode with JB on army ants. They are fascinating because literally they're just like the conquerors of ants, where they go and take brood from other ant colonies and basically just conquer. I think they're fascinating. I don't think we should keep them because of that reason. Because they, their purpose is to conquer other ants. So I don't think as keepers we should be keeping them. But I don't know, it's just my thought. So. But they are fascinating.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, they've always been a dream. Yeah, they're a dream species of mine. I'd love to keep them, but I've always said it's pretty much impossible because of their requirements, like space, their habitat, prey, the way they live. It's not suitable for a captive environment. But I would love them because they are so cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
Really cool. Yeah.
But if you think about it, like, if you keep them, are they being as they would be in the wild? Like, could you give them the proper? No. So, yeah. And I think,
unless you're in like a 20 like mile rainforest or something.
Unless you did unless you did what what's his name? Where he let like ants like let him go in his room or something. Forgot the guy's name. For some reason, like, he was doing a lot of live feeding or something for lights, camera, ants. There we go.
Okay.
Unless you want to be like lights, camera, ants and let army ants walk around in your room, which is not a good idea. Don't do that. But like, if it comes to keeping army ants, how would you do it ethically? Like,
you can't really. You can't. No, you just can't. Like I say, you'd need your own slice of the rainforest and everything, and you just can't do it. You can't. Closest you could get is like do what those people did like back in the 60s and whatnot, and go and live with the ants. Yeah, but I don't think it would probably end in the same way as the lions. To be honest, you would die, stung to death by 100 million army ants.
Probably.
Yeah. What has been the hardest colony you have tried to raise?
Well, I haven't been doing this very long, to be honest. This is probably my it's my second year. Yeah, second or third year. I don't know. I've lost count. But I started in 2020. It's 2022 now, so about 2 years of keeping ants. My longest and probably the best right now are my harvester ants. I would probably say Camponotus, because every time I get them, they die. Either they die or the workers die or the queens eventually die. Which, hopefully this next season I'll catch a couple more. So yeah, anybody in Michigan listening, if you have any, let me know. I'll buy some off of you.
Oh dear. Camponotus is like next to impossible. I've got 4 or 5 colonies of Camponotus at the moment. None of them are doing anything.
Yeah.
Like actual, like I know it's hibernation season for them, so I'm not too worried about a couple of them. The other couple, I'm like, you need to do something, because it's been like a year and they've just sat there doing nothing.
Yeah.
But what was it? Yesterday, I think I released a short on my channel because I moved one of my Camponotus hercularis queens. Her test tube was completely dry. She's been there in the cupboard for over 6 months. Looked in there, not even a single egg, nothing. All right, whatever. Into a new test tube you go.
Yeah.
Back in the cupboard. Try again.
Yeah, I have to do that with my Campeonatus Discolor here soon. They're almost out of water. I gotta put them in a new tube and put them back in the dark.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure that test tube's gonna be in my cupboard until I move out, and yeah, I'll find it. Be like, at least, no, still going.
Yeah.
But it'd be like the stuff in the bottom of the drawer that never leaves. You know what I mean? The stuff that goes in there and you never see again.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I can keep trying. The problem is, like, I get to the point where I think, is this test tube doing something wrong? You know, is it the wrong environment for them? Would it be better if I just stuck them in a natural environment, let them dig themselves? Because that's
Right.
sort of what I've been thinking about with one of my Camponotus hercularis is to stick them in and let them do it naturally. You know,
Yeah.
instead of giving them this test tube, just let her do it properly and see if it happens. Because at this rate, like, she's not going to do anything anyways.
Right. That was the issue I had when I first got my Camponatus. They kept pulling on the cotton because it didn't have anything natural in there for them to dig around in, and so I had to learn that the hard way. But,
So. Yeah, that's it. Burn her, what she's saying. Do you prefer bioactive setups or artificial setups?
Well, I've only had artificial setups, but I do like the actual natural setups. But Antscapes does make really good setups, and one of these days, hopefully, I'll be able to make something natural. That'd be cool.
Yeah. So you think you might venture into that?
Yeah, I think I'd get into that eventually. I don't know what species of ants I currently have would be good for that, but I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I started ages ago. I got more seriously into it the last year, obviously, but it's such a fun thing to learn, as well as the ants. Then like the plants, and you just know a lot more. You know what I mean? And it kind of does open up your knowledge for the ants a lot more. Like, I always wonder about the environments that the ants come from, because that's what interests me a lot as well.
Yeah.
Do you keep any feeder insects yourself? Do you breed any feeder insects for your ants?
I don't. Not at the moment. Usually it's just mealworms that I get from pet stores and stuff like that. I'm actually trying something a little bit different right now. I got a bag of freeze-dried mealworms that you usually get with chickens. And I've been feeding my ants with those right now. And, well, especially my harvesters, because they're the ones that are not in hibernation. But I get like a little small handful of them, and I toss them in there, and they love them. So
okay. So, that's it's a little bit like surprising, because from my knowledge, ants need the liquid inside them to like be able to eat properly. But you're saying it's not an issue?
They tear them up. They open them up and they eat them, and
I mean, they still got the goo inside, I suppose.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Still got, yeah. I mean, it's probably worth looking into then, because I hate mealworms. Whenever I get a pack of mealworms, I chuck them straight in the freezer. Same as crickets, straight in the freezer, freeze the lot, take them out when I need them, because I just hate having them about. They stink. They're pretty grim. Let's be honest, they're pretty grim.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I raise dubias, I raise Malvio worms, but they're not as bad as mealworms. Mealworms are just disgusting, I think.
Probably legs and stuff.
I absolutely hate crickets. Like, they're the worst thing ever. I've got a story, right? So one of the first times I buy crickets, I'm like, what's everyone telling me about? These things don't look like they can jump that far. Open it up, one jumps straight out. Oh no, lid goes back on, thank God for that. And it went straight out into my bedroom and under the bed.
Oh gosh.
I could not find it for the life of me. I was searching for hours. I had everything out, like just everything. The missus was not happy that night when we went to bed. Yeah. And she stayed not happy for a good few days. I put down a sugar water tower in the end and just let it sit in the like on a bottom shelf sort of thing. I looked down and I was just like, "There's a bloody cricket." And I got a pot and boom, captured it. And we won't go into what I did to that cricket, but it was unethical the way I fed it. Not alive, don't be silly. I don't do like. That's another reason I hate them as well. They just tear your ants to pieces. If you chuck a cricket into your ants, it's more likely going to eat your ants before your ants eat it.
Right.
Bloody ridiculous.
That's for sure.
I don't know if you've ever seen that.
What, crickets?
Yeah, crickets. They just eat everything. They will pick up the ant and just rip its head off.
They will, for sure. Yeah, I think the last cricket, I got like the really, really small ones, and I think I like crushed its head and threw it in there.
Yeah.
So that I wouldn't, do
yeah, I mean, I've even put them in hot water and then they come back to life like 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see them at work a lot too. Whenever
creatures.
I'm cleaning, they're like they come out of the walls and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, America has quite a bad problem with roaches and stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah, with roaches especially. Which roaches freak me out. Roaches really freak me out. I have a buddy of mine that raises crickets and stuff for his lizards and snakes and stuff. And I'm just like, because I told him about ant keeping. I told him I got into it. He was like, "Yeah, if you ever need any feeder insects, if you need any roaches, let me know." I'm like, "No, I'll just stick to like crickets and mealworms, man. Thanks though." So
yeah. Roaches aren't too bad actually. I prefer the roaches just because they're easy. Like I've got them in that natural sort of setup for a bin. Food in there every couple of days and they're happy. I've got thousands. Just keep feeding them. Like what was it the other day? I counted out 22 roaches to feed my ants the other day in one hit. 22 roaches. Like, yeah, I need big colonies to feed to my colonies.
Right.
So yeah, they're really, they're good at breeding. They breed at quite a good rate. Like I haven't noticed the numbers diminish too much for my rate of feeding.
Yeah.
As soon as Christmas is over, I can get back to town and get some waxworms as well, because I like to give the smaller colonies waxworms or mealworms or something, and the bigger ones the dubias. But now everyone's on the dubias at the moment.
Yeah. I think the reason. Sorry, guys, my cat's running around. I think the reason I don't like roaches is I had a bad experience with them when I lived in Brazil. I lived in Brazil for about 6 years. And I went from one apartment to a different apartment with a buddy of mine, and a dresser that I had in the old apartment, I didn't know that there was like either a colony or there were eggs for roaches in there. And as soon as I arrived at the new apartment, they hatched, and they were all over the apartment, like just infestated the whole entire apartment was full of these little tiny brown roaches. Not like dubia roaches, but they were small little ones. Running around. We try everything. We try to kill them. We try to, spray everything, and they just kept coming and coming, and yeah. So yeah, I think that's the reason I don't like cockroaches, because they're good.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say, All Ants UK. If you're trying to get hold of dubia roaches, look on eBay. Just type in live dubia roaches. They normally come up with small, medium, large, whatever. And you can buy boxes of a few hundred or whatever you need generally. Or you can go on Facebook and there's dubia roach breeding groups, and they're all really happy to sell you some as well, because they normally have thousands and thousands. There was someone with 100,000 dubia roaches down. They try to get rid of them. So yeah, they are about at the moment. People are a bit reluctant to send stuff in shipping at the minute because it is so cold. But in the UK, we've just had the warmest New Year's we've ever had. In fact, I had to turn the heat cables off in the ant corner because I know the normal temperature of the room is between 25 to 26 degrees, and the temperature of the room went up to 30. So I was like, right, turn everything off. Just turn it off quickly. Like, I can't explain it. It was New Year's Day. Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, I think for Christmas, it was about 45, 50 degrees Fahrenheit here. It was warm. There was like no snow, nothing.
Yeah.
Just recently we got snow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it might drop again, but I doubt. I never get snow where I am, anyways, because I'm surrounded by the ocean. By the time it lands here, it's water.
Right.
Yeah. When I was younger, I used to live like in the middle of nowhere on Dartmoor, and we had snow when it was summer. You know, it was snow all year round up there.
Oh well.
Which was nice. Here's something. Do you think that the weather is affecting the insects and ants and everything else? Like, because it is messing up, isn't it? The weather, the environment, like it's getting hot and getting cold. I've got my Polyrhacus dives. The males decided to fly last night. So, you know, for me, I think things are messing up.
Well, one of my newer listeners posted on my Discord about catching, I don't remember what species it was, but he caught a queen about 2 days ago or so. And I was like, wait a minute, you know, he's in Georgia, which is,
Right.
There's no winter down there. There's no snow. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, wait, in December? Like you're catching ants in December? What's going on? And I remembered, I'm like, no, he lives in Georgia. There's no hibernation down there. But
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. I mean, here in Michigan, we have a saying: we get all 4 seasons in one day, usually, where it's always it goes from hot to cold in a single day. I don't see that much, especially here in my area. I don't see it affecting ants per se. But I do think having a period of time where the ants can hibernate is probably good for them, especially to rest. But no, I don't really see that much of a drastic change to their behaviors because of the weather around here. But
Yeah, that's fair. That's good enough. I mean, it's something I'm trying to take notice of at the minute is whether things are getting weirded out. Because I know the year just gone, like my plants started flowering in like February or something. It was just ridiculous. And then by the time spring actually came around, they were already done and they did nothing all the summer then, which is quite annoying because like it just ruined my garden, which I spend a lot of time on sometimes.
yeah.
But the other thing I noticed, which was interesting, right? I did a little walk around. I did 6 walkarounds on my island of Portland. Because we're surrounded by the ocean, the sea sprays up the salt constantly. Now, obviously, a lot of insects don't like salt. It didn't affect them, is the long and short of it. I went round and looked, and like, there's even slugs walking about, and like right by the ocean's edge, you know. And I thought that was really surprising to see slugs and snails right by the salty water. Blew my mind.
Yeah. Which
I think that the environment sort of side of it can be really interesting.
Yeah. I just can't wait for winter to be over and spring to come so I can start seeing workers crawling around and start seeing some flights. So this year,
do you have the same sort of seasons as us? Does your spring start in like April?
Yeah, usually March, April. Yeah. But the difference now for this season for me catching any queens, I won't be able to go like outside my backyard and actually like catch them there. I'm gonna actually have to go to parks now and other places to catch them. Last year I would
stay in the forest.
Yeah, because last year what I had to do was I just went to the backyard, walked down the stairs, and there was the whole entire block, and I caught queens right there. They were just right there next to the house. But now I have to actually go different places. Maybe I'll go up north here in Michigan, or I'll go to some parks nearby. But yeah.
Yeah. Michigan. Now, do you get bears?
Yes, we have bears, but they're up north. They're not where I am at.
Right, okay. I was going to say, because like go out to the woods. Maybe not. Maybe if they're not there, then go out to the woods, like and
Right.
find some ants. If
So
you got bears, don't go.
here's what Michigan looks like. Here's a mitten, right?
Yeah.
So hold on. Can't figure. Okay, so this is the east side, technically. I'm over here somewhere. I'm in that area.
Right.
North,
Okay.
I can't do that area yet. North, there's bears up here. But where I'm at, yeah, I'm in the city, so.
Yeah, fair enough. I couldn't be dealing with bears. I think the scariest thing we get round here are foxes.
Yeah.
We're quite isolated on this island. We don't actually have like a lot of anything. There's nothing like, I mean, there is stuff in the UK to worry about, but not like bears. We ain't got nothing like bears.
You guys have wolves in the
We've
UK?
got adders. Pardon?
You have wolves in the UK?
I'm not sure. Right? I don't think so. Not wild ones anymore. I know we used to, but I don't think we have wolves in the UK anymore. Not that I know of. I might be wrong on that. Someone in the chat will probably prove me wrong, but I'm going to say we don't have wild wolves in the UK anymore. Foxes in the UK, thanks England. Yeah, we got foxes, not wolves. We used to have wolves, and I think they're going to reintroduce them for some strange reason, which I'm not sure if I agree on things being reintroduced, because now the habitats have changed, and I don't know. I think we have a panther. Someone told me once we have panthers in England, and I don't know if I believe them or not.
Interesting. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, go for it. Wolves got wiped out years ago, but they're thinking about reintroducing them. Yeah, the found in Elsie Pos will be ready. Talk of wild wolves in Scotland. Yeah, seagulls. Right, Ants England has just mentioned seagulls. Where I am, seagulls will actually dive bomb you, and they won't just go for your food, they'll just attack you just for walking down the road, minding your own business. Seagulls, they are nasty. They'll get you.
Yeah.
Like when I walk down the road, I walk down the road with my bag in my hand like that, so I can get away, swing it at them.
Yeah, Eric Gold says thank God in Michigan it's mostly black bears and not grizzlies. So Eric Gold is Sulier. He does the Tenfold podcast that I go on there once in a while now. So when we're done here, cool. I'm actually hopping on there and we're doing an episode on I think Zelda, one of the Zelda series. Forgot which one.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, you're welcome to post a link to that at the end if you want, and then everyone can jump onto that if they want to.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're going live or not, but Sulier, if you want to post the show notes or the link to the show, go ahead.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to. More than welcome to.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Right. So, All Ants UK has said yes, there are panthers in the UK, but they are rare. Antimatters says got beavers. I don't think we've got beavers in the UK. Have we got beavers? I don't know. I've never seen a beaver. I'll say that. I've seen a badger, but I ain't seen a beaver.
I think.
Oh.
What's everyone's thoughts on wolves being reintroduced into the wild? I think that's a good idea. Why wouldn't it be?
I think it's crazy, to be honest, Shane. I think it's absolutely crazy to reintroduce wolves. I don't want a wolf coming to my door trying to blow down my house.
I don't think like that, but I think it would be good for the environment if they're reintroduced because they belong there, right? They don't belong in zoos. I mean, yeah, there are some in zoos, but they belong in the wild. They belong in packs if they're if they're away from us and doing their thing. I think it'd be good. I think my cat's
That's it. I don't mind them as long as they stay away from me. I don't want to have to deal with that. I will wrestle a wolf if I have to. I will go bare hands with it, but I don't want to. It's
Pun
just,
intended.
yeah, I'd rather avoid it.
Right.
I'd rather avoid it. 200 wolves. Okay, from what Shane's heard, they're going to introduce like 200 wolves in different locations around the UK. I bet you they choose Portland for one of the locations. They always choose Portland. If it's going to be anywhere, it will be Portland, right down the road from my house, because it's just my luck.
Wait, in the UK, is there no such thing as like natural like rainforests or anything, or like national parks?
We've got national parks, but we don't really have rainforests. We've
No,
got
not
like
rainforests, but like forests.
we've got forests and national parks, but compared to like the sort of thing you've got in America, it's just you'd think of it as like a trek through the woods.
Right. Well, like the size comparison between the US and the UK is so much different. You can do that here.
It's just insane. It's just insane. Like you can fit the whole of the UK in like some of your states.
Yeah.
Crazy. But we, like you said, we do have woods and stuff, and they'll probably reintroduce them to places like Dartmoor. And I don't know about Dartmoor actually because it's a bit too open. But they'll reintroduce them, and it will go all right for a while. But I'm sure like they don't like what's it? We have that badger cull every year, don't we? And like they keep killing the badgers because the badgers kill the livestock is the excuse.
Right.
Now, is that going to start again with wolves in like 10, 20 years' time? And they're going to do a wolf cull every year. And then they're going to get people protesting against that. It's just another place to cause argument as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Unless you keep a handle on their population like we do here with deer. Because, deer season where you get to hunt them and stuff. But I don't think you would want to hunt deer. Or, we had coyotes for my own permit. Or like hunting wolves because wolves fight back. But
wolves are big as well.
Yeah, and you can't. I mean, I don't know if you would want to eat them, but deer is delicious. I have 3 packets of it in my freezer. Venison burgers.
Yeah. I actually, when I was learning to cook, we did venison burgers out of a deer that my cooking instructor brought in, and we butchered it on the spot and made deer burgers and served that to it. They were brilliant. That was really good, actually. Haven't had that in a long, long time.
Yeah.
No, I quite miss things like that. I've tried alligator. I've had alligator snake. Yeah. It was really nice. It's just like eating a tuna steak. Poor Bambi. Yeah. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry. I do eat meat. I'm sorry. I'm not that sorry because I eat meat, but I'm sorry.
I mean, Native Americans here in the United States do eat honeypot ants.
Yes, I've seen that. I was actually going to do a review video on that soon. So, fair enough. They're full of sugar. I can completely understand it.
Yeah.
It's been done for thousands of years, I expect, like through the Amazons, and I mean, over in Australia as well, they eat quite a lot of different things. I mean, eat anything, won't they?
Yeah.
But Shane has just thrown something in, and I don't know if I believe it or not. Have you guys ever heard about scientists resurrecting mammoths?
I actually heard about this, I think, a little bit ago.
Now I've read it out again out loud, I have heard something about this. Oh, what? No, I'm not. I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up, and we'll mention it in a later episode at some point.
Yeah.
But right, if anyone does have any further questions, make sure you send them in now because we're going to be coming towards the end very soon.
Yeah.
They've released loads of wolves up and down in the UK, and it's helped their habitats and the management. See, every time I think of wolves running about, all I think is like the big bad wolf, and he's going to eat the sheep, he's going to blow down our houses, and he's going to scare all our pigs. Make our
Right.
bacon taste funny. That's what
Yeah.
that would do.
Don't want that to happen. I like bacon. There was a question I saw earlier that I don't think I touched. I think the
I
question
probably
was.
missed it. I've been trying to keep up.
I think the question was, what were my thoughts on Dynamix Gigas? So I went and I looked that up. And I know they're mainly in Myanmar and hold on, let me zoom in on the map. Thailand, however you want to say it. Borneo has them, and Sumatra has them, and the Philippines have them. So I really don't know much about the specific ant, but I am looking at them, and it is probably going to be on the Ant Quest for Asia. But they do look really interesting. They look like it looks like they nest in rotting wood, so that's pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a couple pictures from of them on the Ant Wiki, so I'll be definitely talking about them on an Ant Quest on Asia. So I don't have much thought other than they look really interesting, and actually they look pretty cute too. So.
Okay.
That's my thoughts on this.
I saw a question on what are the next ant species that I will be keeping. I've got a few different things in the works. Got a video coming out in a week or two. Can't remember the date, the 12th, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. But I got a video coming out in a couple of Saturdays, which is going to introduce 2 new colonies to my ant corner, and an awesome thing going on. And you've got to watch it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, you're going to enjoy that one. And I've got some other ants coming in as well, but I don't want to ruin anything because it's always sort of surprise. And to be honest, I'm not going to introduce them to the channel until I know they're going to survive. Because I've put a few on in the past, and a few weeks later they've died, basically. And then, that's the end of it, and everyone's expecting to hopefully see this colony grow, and it's a shame for everyone. So I'm just going to wait a little bit longer before I release anything, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just going back through. I think we've just about covered anyone's questions. This is the last chance to put any questions in, anybody. Thank you all for joining, and Happy New Year to everyone. I haven't said it yet, so I better say it. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. I hope everyone had a fantastic one. And yeah, so next week it sort of changes, right? So I used to do 2 videos every week. I'm now going to be doing, no, I'll explain better. I used to do my review video on a Monday, video on Wednesday, video on Saturday, and the picnic table on Sunday. We're now going to be doing the picnic table on Wednesday and Sunday instead of the video on Wednesday. So you get the review on Monday, picnic table Wednesday, video Saturday, picnic table on Sunday. So it just means we've got much more stuff like this, great chances to meet, talk with everyone. Everyone in the chat gets the chance to meet and talk. We get to find out interesting stuff about interesting people such as yourself.
Yep.
And yeah, it just gives me a little bit more time to make the better quality videos rather than trying to rush them out every couple of days, because it was getting a little bit hectic, we could say. Don't forget to join Discord. Check out my Patreon, because there is sneak previews on Patreon as well. If you want to see the colony that's coming onto the channel in a couple of weeks' time, they're already on my Patreon. That is the only place you'll get to see them. So you got to send me some money, I'm afraid. Sign up. sign up to that, support the channel.
For sure.
The next thing we want to do is install broadband just for a slightly smoother service.
Yeah.
This is all going off Wi-Fi as well, which is probably the reason I had to change into this halfway through the stream, just because of the lag on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to see these streams get better, support the channel, check out my Patreon. And I do think that is about it for the interview. So if you've got anything you want to say, wrap it up, let us know any future plans you've got. Go for it, buddy. Here's your chance. Open mic.
So, like I said earlier, so for season 3, which will be starting probably around March, I'm going to take this next couple of months and prep, make sure the website is up to date. Speaking of the website, Stein, I sent that to you. If you want to post that in the chat so people can check out the website. Currently, it's just myself. JB hasn't said anything about him co-hosting. So currently, it's just me. I will open the invitation if anybody is thinking about co-hosting or wants an experience coming onto the show. You're welcome to send me a message. Working into looking at some sponsors. I got one person I'm talking to later. But other than that, I think that is it. Just check out the website. All the info you need for the show is on there. Formicast did get listed on one of the top listened podcasts for ant keeping. So if you want to take a look at that, you can definitely check that out. I might have the link here. Let me quickly find it.
Yeah, please send it.
Which the Ant Pod with Ants Hollifer got listed on there as well.
Wow.
So here it is.
So that's something I need to aim towards then.
Yes, sir. So
I didn't know there was one, actually, to be honest. I've got a question here from Roger.
Yep.
Would I keep red ants? What type of red ants are you on about? I currently have Myrmica rubra, Myrmica rubida, probably some other red ants. Yes, I would keep red ants. I'd pretty much keep most ants, just not Solenopsis, Geminata, or Invicta, pretty much.
Yep. So that's the link of the best 3 ant keeping podcasts. I think this is not updated. I think it's just the Ant Pod, myself, and the Colonial Ant Cast, which technically is just me and the Ant Pod that are up, other than yourself, and some other shows. And then here's the website for anybody that hasn't seen it. You guys can take a look at that. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have. The show should be starting back up here. I'm still doing like updates. I just released the winter update 1.2, talking about coming on here. So I released that right before we started recording, so people can listen to that. Go to the website, the link's on there. But yeah, that's pretty much it that I have. So.
Brilliant. All right. Well, it's been absolutely brilliant having you on. Thank you very much for joining me. I really do appreciate it.
It's been an honor.
Thank you, everyone, for joining in on the chat. It's been absolutely amazing watching everyone's messages today. It's been really busy, and it's growing really well. I can't believe how fast this is growing. Don't forget, we're on Twitch as well as YouTube right now, so you can check out both platforms. And by tomorrow, this will be on Spotify and Anchor as a podcast as well. So you can check it out all over the place. You can tell your friends to check it out as well. Mm-hmm. And we'll draw more crowd in and get everyone into ants.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. But I'm going to let you sign out, and I shall end the stream, buddy.
Cool. Formicast out.
There we go. Again, thank you all for signing in. It's been really great. Wednesday, we have tarantula-tastic enclosures. So that's a little bit different. It's not ants. It's more to do with the enclosures. His experience in just general keeping everything he keeps. He's got some really interesting stuff, does some amazing builds, and it's going to be a really interesting show. So that's Wednesday. I'm going to start at 8 o'clock on Wednesday because I'm going to start with the end of the competition. We're going to pick the 3 winners of the prize draw, and then we'll do the live feeding in the tank, And then at 9 o'clock, we will have Tarantula-tastic enclosures. And then on Saturday, I've got a video coming out, and which will be the one that you vote for. So don't miss that, because it's the one that you're voting for by entering the competition. And then on the Sunday, sorry, I'm just looking up there because it's still on the list next to me, we have Pour More, who are an amazing ant shop that Formicast has just spoken about over in the States. So if you want to hear more about them, what they've got going on and coming to their shop in the future, then make sure you sign in next Sunday as well for these streams. And that's it. I'm going to stop talking. It's been really good. I've enjoyed it. I always enjoy these streams. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the support. If you do want to support the channel, please do check out the Patreon link. The more support you can give me, the better it will get, basically. Canada and America, to me, are the same thing. I'm just going to say that because Formicast has just pointed out that Pour More are in Canada. It's all just one large continent to me. It's all the same. Since you left British rule, it's all the same. Right, I shall stop there. I'll leave you all to it. Thank you all for signing in. And as always from me, I'll see you again soon, Ant fans.